The Sand Group, which has two facilities in Port Alberni and had what appeared to be a promising future, is now faced with what appears to be a crippling debt of almost $200 million. The company is now filed for creditor protection in BC Supreme Court, a disappointing development for the city.
It's always hard to see this happening with a local company, and obviously as well this time of year. I mean, it's just before Christmas, there's people out of work.
75 people were laid off in October when operations were curtailed due to what the company called available log supply. It's unclear how the latest development will affect the other 150 or so jobs in Port Alberni. Court documents show how the money owed breaks down. It includes $107 million to the Royal Bank of Canada, $43 million to the Business Development Bank of Canada, $22 million to the BC government for stumpage fees, and $5 million to the Canada Revenue Agency. In total, the company's liabilities are at least $193.85 million. Industry analyst David Elstone says this is a deep hole for the company to get out of.
I think that it's a very uphill climb for that company to look at what to do with that amount of debt. With this forest industry the way it is, the challenges in log supply, the challenges with markets in general, yeah, that's going to be a tough one.
Elstone says Sand Group's problems are symptomatic of what's happening in the forest industry across the province, adding only 50% of the allowable cut was harvested last year, and he blames the BC government.
We're not able to harvest trees out there and get a predictable log supply for our manufacturing facilities, in large part because we're not able to get permits. And those permits have not been forthcoming on a steady and predictable basis.
Always a lot more at play, but I mean, the vision that Sand Group brought to the community, local logs for local jobs, get more value out of every tree that's taken out of the woods. So it is really disappointing. I think that, a big effort was made, and it's disappointing to see that hasn't come to fruition.
Forestry Minister Ravi Parmar tells Check News he won't comment on the creditor protection as it is in a court process, but does say the ministry is in touch with the Sand Group and supporting them where possible. We've reached out to Sand Group for comment as well.